Hello students, we started learning limits and derivatives chapter. Almost we have completed one exercise. So before we get into derivatives topic, I wish to give you a quick recap of what we have learned so far. First, we have seen what is meant by a limit. So when a particular value as x tends to a, f of x will approach some other value. That particular value is called the limit of a function. When x approaches a, f of x approaches L, then L is called the limit of the function, which is symbolically written as limit x tends to a, f of x equal to L. X can approach a particular value from both the sides, left hand side and as well as right hand side, right? We will denote the left hand limit as limit x tends to a minus f of x and right hand limit as a plus. When both left hand limit, right hand limit exist and both are equal, then only the limit of the function will exist and it is equal to the same value. When the limit of a function will exist, when both left and right hand limit exist and both coincide, then that common value is called the limit of the function f of x at x equal to a. Alright, we denote it by limit x tends to a, f of x. Then we have seen algebra of limits. If there are two functions, then all the algebraic operations are true. Limit x tends to a, f of x plus g of x equals to limit x tends to a, f of x plus g of x. Similarly for subtraction, product and quotient. And if lambda is any scalar, then which is also true. Limit x tends to a, lambda f of x is nothing but lambda into limit x tends to a, f of x. Right? Then we have seen limit of polynomials and rational function. Limit x tends to a, f of x is nothing but f of a. Limit x tends to a, f of x is nothing but f of a if limit x tends to a, x is equal to a. Now this is using this we have solved a theorem which says limit x tends to a, x power n minus a power n divided by x minus a is equals to n into a power n minus 1. These are all the things we have seen in detail in the previous classes. I am giving you a quick recap what we have learnt, right? So we have seen this theorem which says limit x tends to a, x power n minus a power n divided by x minus a, which is equal to n into a power n minus 1. Then we have learnt about limit of trigonometric functions. If f and g are two real valued functions such that f of x is less than or equal to g of x, then limit x tends to a, f of x will be less than or equal to limit x tends to a, g of x if both the limit exist. Then we have seen about sandwich theorem. If a function is sandwiched between two functions, right, and if the first function and the last function tends to a particular value L, then the in between sandwiched function will also tend to the same limit. And we have also seen the function sin x by x is sandwiched in between cos x and 1. The function sin x by x is sandwiched in between cos x and 1. And also we have seen two results, limit x tends to 0 sin x by x is equal to 1 and limit x tends to 0 1 minus cos x by x is equal to 0, right? So using all these results we have seen how to solve problems and how to find the limit of a given function. So you should not forget, while solving problems also we have seen many methods using all these results and also how to substitute a given variable. While solving, if we end up with 0 by 0 form, we will try to eliminate, we will try to reduce the given question in order to avoid that 0 by 0 form. We will reduce it. While reducing we will simplify or else we will do substitution method like this. Here we have substituted 1 plus x as y. When we are substituting, we have to be very careful. The limit also will change. Alright. I have told all these things in detail in the previous classes. Now let us move on to the next topic in the chapter called derivatives. Now let us see what is meant by a derivative. The whole concept is all about how a particular parameter is changing with respect to some other parameter. When some parameter, hope you got it, when x tends to some value, what happens to the function? That was what happens to the function, or the functional value approaches to which value? That's what all about this limiting process, right? How a particular parameter is changing with respect to some other parameter. This is called limiting process. Through this only we are going to define our a definition of a derivative. Now, before getting into the definition of derivative, let us see where we are going to use this in our real life situation. They have given some beautiful examples. People maintaining a reservoir need to know when will a reservoir overflow, knowing the depth of the water at several instances of time. So, overflow of reservoir depends on the depth of the water at several instances of time. At particular time where the depth of the water is. When the time increases, the depth of the water will also increase. So, when it reaches a particular level only, it will overflow, right? So, there plays a role of derivative or limiting process. Rockets, scientists need to compute the precise velocity with which the satellite needs to be shot out from the rocket, knowing the height of the rocket at various times. And similarly, in financial institutions, predict the changes in the value of a particular stock, knowing its present value. So, these are all some real life examples where the derivative or limiting process plays a vital role, right? Now, let us move on to the definition of a derivative now. Now we clearly understood what is meant by the limiting process, right? How the limiting process occurs. Using that, we are going to define the definition of a derivative. Suppose f is a real valued function and a is a point in its domain. Then the derivative of f at a, derivative of f at a is defined by limit h tends to 0, f of a plus h minus f of a divided by h, provided this limit exists. Derivative of f of x at a is denoted by f dash of a. We will read it as f dash of a. So, what is the derivative of the function f at a? Derivative of the function f at a is denoted by f dash of a, which is nothing but limit h tends to 0, f of a plus h minus f of a divided by h. Now, what is this f dash of a denotes? F dash of a quantifies the change in f of x at a with respect to x, right? What is this f dash of a denotes? It quantifies the change in f of x at a with respect to x. Change in f of x at a with respect to x. That's what the derivative gives, right? Now let us see how to solve this question using the definition of a derivative. Find the derivative of f of x, which is equals to 2x square plus 3x minus 5 at x equal to minus 1. Also prove that f dash of 0 plus 3 into f dash of minus 1 equal to 0. Right? So for this, first let us find what is f dash of minus 1, because that's what our question. Derivative of f of x at x equal to minus 1 means we have to find f dash of minus 1. Right, f dash of x at minus 1, which is nothing but f dash of minus 1. What is f dash of the derivative of f of x at x equal to a formula, which is limit h tends to 0, right, f of a plus h. Here a is minus 1. So, minus 1 plus h minus f of minus 1 divided by h. Hope you remember the formula. What is the formula? F of x, derivative of f of x, f dash of x at x is equal to a is limit h tends to 0, f of a plus h minus f of a divided by h. This is what the formula, right? This is what we have substituted here. Now we need to find the derivative of f of x at x equal to minus 1. Derivative of f of x at x equal to minus 1. Therefore, f dash of minus 1 equals to limit h tends to 0, f of a is minus 1. So, minus 1 plus h minus f of minus 1 divided by h. Right? Now, how to solve this? Limit h tends to 0. What is f of a plus h? F of x definition is 2x square plus 3x minus 1. So, in the place of x we have minus 1 plus h. So, in the place of x we have to put minus 1 plus h. So, this will become 2 into minus 1 plus h the whole square plus 3 into minus 1 plus h minus 5. This is f of minus 1 plus h minus f of minus 1. So in the place of x we have to put minus 1. So 2 into minus 1 the whole square plus 3 into minus 1 minus 5 the whole divided by h. Right? So which is equals to limit h tends to 0. This should be expanded using a plus b the whole square identity. So 2 into minus 1 the whole square is going to be 1 plus h square, right, minus 2ab, 2 into 1 into h, so minus 2h plus, we have to expand, this will become minus 3, 3 into h is plus 3h minus 5, right, minus, again we have to expand this, minus 1 the whole square is going to be plus 1, so this is going to be 2 minus 3 minus 5, right. See, after simplification, if we remove the brackets and if we cancel the like terms, we got 2h square minus h divided by h. Again, we have h common in both numerator and denominator. So, we can take h as common. So, we will get 2h minus 1 divided by h. So, this h will get cancelled. So, limit h tends to 0, 2h, which means 2 into 0 minus 1, which is nothing but minus 1. So, f dash of minus 1 is minus 1, right. So, we have answered our first question, that is the derivative of f of x at x equal to minus 1 is nothing but minus 1. Next, they asked you to prove f dash of 0 plus 3 times f dash of minus 1 equal to 0. So, we know what is f dash of minus 1. So, if we find what is f dash of 0, we can add those two and check whether are we getting equal to 0, right. So now we are going to find what is f dash of 0. What is the formula again? Limit h tends to 0, f of a plus h, a is 0. So 0 plus h minus f of a divided by h. So the same way, limit h tends to 0, in the definition of f of x, we have to replace 0 plus h. 0 plus h is nothing but h only, right. So in the place of x, we can put directly h. This is nothing but limit h tends to 0, f of h minus f of 0 divided by h, right. So in the place of x, we need to put h. So 2 into 2x square. So 2h square plus 3h minus 5 minus of f of 0. So in the place of x, we have to put 0. 2 into 0 square plus 3 into 0 minus 5, the whole divided by h, right. Again, we have to simplify this. The limit h tends to 0, 2h square plus 3h minus 5. Anyhow, 0 into 2 is going to be 0. This is also 0. Minus into minus, it will become plus 5 divided by h. So, plus 5 minus 5 will get cancelled. Similarly, we have h in the numerator. We can take that h common. So, that h, this h will get cancelled. We will get limit h tends to 0, 2h plus 3, right, which is nothing but at limit h tends to 0, it is going to be 2 into 0 plus 3, which is nothing but 3. So, f dash of 0 is 3. Now, let us see after substituting in that what answer are we getting. Now, this is what our question, right? F dash of 0 plus 3 into f dash of minus 1 equal to 0. That's what we need to prove. So, f dash of 0, that just now we found it as 3 plus 3 into f dash of minus 1, we found it as minus 1. So, 3 minus 3, which is 0. Hence, we proved, right? This how only we have to solve the problem. If they ask you to find the derivative of the function at some particular value, we have to find f dash of that particular value, which is equal to limit h tends to 0, f of a plus h minus f of a divided by h. We have to substitute this in the definition, and then as usual we did in the previous exercise, we have to find the limit. That's it, right? Hope you understood. Let us move on to the next thing now. Now let us see how to solve this question. Find the derivative of sin x at x equal to 0. The same way, here f of x is sin x, right? Here a is 0. So we need to find f dash of 0. So what is the formula? limit h tends to 0 f of a plus h. So 0 plus h minus f of 0 divided by h, which is equal to limit h tends to 0 f of 0 plus h. F of x is sin x. 0 plus h is nothing but h. So in the place of x we have to put h, right? So this is going to be sin h minus f of 0 means sin 0 divided by h. What is sin 0? Sin 0 is 0. So limit h tends to 0, we got sin h by h because sin 0 is 0. Since sin 0 is equal to 0. Right. Now what is this? This result we have seen. Limit x tends to 0, sin x by x is 1. So limit h tends to 0, sin h by h is 1. So hence we found the answer. Hope you understood. Let us move on to the next topic now. Now let us see how we can define formally the derivative of a function. Suppose f is a real valued function. The function defined by limit h tends to 0 f of x plus h minus f of x divided by h, wherever the limit exists, is defined to be the derivative of f at x and is denoted by f dash of x. This definition of derivative is also called the first principle of derivative. Right? Hope you got it. From the previous definition, we have seen how to find the derivative of a function at some particular value, right? But formally, how we will define a function, derivative of a function at some particular value x, we will call it as f dash of x. F dash of x is nothing but, in general, this is. Earlier, we have seen for a particular value at x equal to a. Right. So in general, how to define the derivative of a function f of x, which is f dash of x, which is equal to limit h tends to 0 f of x plus h minus f of x divided by h. This is called the first principle of derivative. First principle of derivative. Right. Clearly, the domain of definition of f dash of x is wherever the above limit exists. That place, that region only we will take it as a domain, wherever the limit exists. There are different notations. We will come across different notations of derivatives. They have given you all the denotations here. Sometimes f dash of x is denoted by d by dx. We will read it as d by dx of f of x. D by dx of f of x. Or if y equal to f of x, instead of f of x, we will write y. So dy by dx. If we write dy by dx, which means first derivative of y. Right? This is derivative of f of x at x with respect to x, right? First derivative of f of x with respect to x. This is derivative of y with respect to x. This is referred to as derivative of f of x with respect to x. It is also denoted by capital D of f of x. Instead of writing d by dx, we will write capital D, which also means the same thing, derivative of f of x. Further, derivative of f at x equal to a at some particular value, how we will define, how we will denote d by dx of f of x, we have to put one slash and we have to write a. So how you will read it? D by dx of f of x at x equal to a, or df by dx at x equal to a, or even we will express like this also, df by dx at x equal to a. We can use any one of these notations. Hope you are clear with the definition of a derivative now. It is denoted by f dash of x, which is limit h tends to 0 f of x plus h minus f of x divided by h. Now let us see few problems how to solve using first principle of derivative. Now the question is, find the derivative of f of x which is equal to 10x. So we know what is f dash of x. F dash of x is limit h tends to 0 f of x plus h minus f of x divided by h. So which is equal to limit h tends to 0 f of x plus h. F of x is 10x. So in the place of x we have to put x plus h. So it is going to be 10 into x plus h minus 10x, right, divided by h. So which is equal to limit h tends to 0 10x plus 10h minus 10x divided by h. I have multiplied each and every term. So plus 10x minus 10x will get cancelled. H also will get cancelled. So limit h tends to 0, 10 is nothing but 10. So this is f dash of x. Derivative of f of x is 10. Right? Hope you got it. Let us see another example now. Now let us see how to find the derivative of f of x, which is equal to 1 by x. The same procedure. F dash of x, only the definition of the function differs here. F dash of x is limit h tends to 0, f of x plus h minus f of x divided by h. So which is equal to limit h tends to 0, f of x plus h. So it is going to be in the place of x we have to write x plus h. So 1 by x plus h minus 1 by x divided by h. So which is equals to limit x tends to 0, 1 by h. We have to take LCM, right? X into x plus h. This 1 by h I have written here. So x minus of x plus h. I have cross multiplied since we have taken LCM, which is equal to limit x tends to 0, 1 by h, x minus h. We are removing the brackets, divided by x into x plus h. So plus x minus x will get cancelled. So which is equal to limit x tends to 0, 1 by h into minus h divided by x into x plus h. So h will get cancelled. So which is equals to limit x tends to 0, minus 1 divided by x square plus xh, right? Now x tends to 0. I'm sorry, limit h tends to 0, right? It's not x. Definition is limit h tends to 0, f of x plus h minus f of x divided by h. Everywhere it is limit h tends to 0. So what will happen if h tends to 0? Minus 1 divided by x square plus x into 0, which is going to be minus 1 divided by x square. This term will become 0. So be careful. Don't make that mistake, which is h tends to 0, right? Hope you understood how to solve this problem. Now let us see this example. Find the derivative of the constant function f of x equals to a for a fixed real number a. Now the definition is going to be f dash of x, which is equal to limit h tends to 0. The definition is going to be same, right? So whatever the variable is going to be, the function is defined as a constant function a. So it is going to be a minus a divided by h. So 0 by h. 0 by anything is nothing but 0. Right? So the derivative f dash of x is nothing but 0. This is how you have to solve this problem. So with this, let us wind up today's class. In today's class, we have seen the definition of a derivative, which says limit h tends to 0, f of a plus h minus f of a divided by h, which is the derivative of the function f of x at x equals to a. The first principle of derivative is f dash of x is equal to limit h tends to 0, f of x plus h minus f of x divided by h. Then we have seen the different notations of derivative of the function, right? Then we have seen few problems how to solve it. So with this, let us wind up today's class. And homework is exercise 13.2, question number 1, 2, 3 and 4. And if you have any doubts, you can ask me. Thank you, students.